Hi, and welcome to a brief overview of how the Safer Illinois app and the U of I Classroom Boarding Pass apps can be used to grant access to someone to be able to rent a vehicle from the university motor pool, to board a U of I ride vehicle, or other options that do not involve that person having to enter a building. The purpose of the training is going to orient you to what these options look like, how to check an individual's status, and grant them access to a U of I vehicle. This training does not meet the specific requirements to work or serve as a wellness support associate. It also does not allow you to bar anyone's access from a particular building. Those positions that are able to do that have additional training because they're covered under the Clery Act, which is a federal law regarding crime reporting and crime statistics on our campus. This training does show you what the Safer Illinois app looks like, when someone is granted, when they're denied, and will also orient you to the boarding pass. The Safer Illinois app is going to be the easiest and fastest way. Second, an individual can show you an electronic boarding pass. The difference between the two is the Safer Illinois app is located on the phone, whereas the electronic boarding pass has to go to a website and retrieve that information. A third option is that an individual can download a paper boarding pass, very similar to getting a paper ticket for an airplane ride. There are security features built into all three of these that'll help ensure that the person is showing you current information. We'll now go through what those features are. This is an example of what the Safer Illinois app looks like. Notice first that there's a pink color in the background. That's the color of the day. It's going to match the same color that the Mass Transit District uses for our buses on campus. Next, make sure the photo matches the person or looks like the person that you're expecting to see. Third, make sure that circle is spinning. That's a specific security feature so that someone can't take a screenshot from the day before or a screenshot from someone else from that day, or even themselves before they go test, and then try to pass that off as current information. Look for the check mark down at the bottom that says building access granted. If the access is denied, it'll have an X instead of a check mark and will say denied instead of granted. Another important feature that's not part of the app is for you to ensure that the person is wearing a face covering. If not, offer them a disposable face covering. The next option is the electronic boarding pass. The electronic boarding pass is very similar to the app. It still has the same color of the day as the app. It has a picture, has the individual's name, has their UIN, but it's also going to have a timestamp, a date stamp, and it will have a verbal what the color of the day is to make sure it matches up above. And that'll be very similar to what you see here. That one is still in development. And again, because it has to go to a website, it may not work as quickly as the Safer Illinois app does. The Safer Illinois app is going to be the fastest way to get someone cleared to grant them access to a building, or in this case, to a vehicle. If someone is denied, you're not going to know why. They may not know why. And that's where the Wellness Support Answer Center comes into play. They might be denied because they're overdue for testing. They might be denied because they've had an exposure and they're supposed to be in quarantine, or they may be denied because they've tested positive and they're supposed to be in isolation. Either of those will trip their status to be denied. It has to be reset by the public health district when they're out of quarantine or isolation, or it can be reset by taking a test and having a negative result. If you have any questions, please send me an email at brauer@illinois.edu. Thanks for taking a couple minutes to learn more about the options we have available to help keep our campus safe.